Are you scared of spiders? Good.
Bethesda hates this.
And AMD hates giving you high-end because they gotta sell other things. But sorry, RX 8000 is gonna suck. Let's get into the hot news, everybody. I'm your Brett host. We're gonna get into the hottest tech news that are find on the internet. What do I say?
I don't know.
It's Monday, September 11th, 2023. Let's jump right on into it, unless you have anything you want to establish.
Horog.
Go Bok Go.
Go Bok Go.
Shout out South Africa beating Scotland.
Creamed you guys.
Cream!
Bruh.
That's a phrase that people use.
Well, it looks like the implementation of DLSS on Jedi Survivor was creamed the wrong way.
I don't like that.
It was
No, that
not
felt
done
weird.
well. It's bad because it only supports frame generation and not super resolution. This is now a known bug, with Respawn saying that they're gonna fix it, but the whole super resolution portion of DLSS does not work on Jedi Survivor.
How do you break that?
I don't know. You just get the faster frame generation, nothing else.
That is so weird. I didn't even think that was an option.
And it's normally at this point in hot news that I bring you the sponsor, but this is not sponsored as much as I would like it to be. We're going to talk about Dbrand announcing the new Arachnoplates for the PlayStation 5. This
I
is based...
saw these.
Ooh, I'm excited. This is based on Sony's console covers that they have for the PlayStation 5, but in the style of the Dark Plates 2.0. These things are immaculate. I absolutely love the design, and just like Dbrand's marketing scheme is always, the popular video game console maker Megacore failed to produce enough stock of their licensed video game side panels. Thanks for dropping the ball, you series of expletives.
Yeah.
So they actually, in obviously Dbrand fashion, charge a single penny less than what Sony charges for their PS5 Marvel Spider-Man 2 console covers. Additionally, when it comes to the actual Arachnoplates, you can get the middle skin, which I think helps tie it all together in a way that this now looks supremely underwhelming, besides the controller.
The controller still rocks. The
Yeah.
controller, but switching back and forth between the two, like, one is the clear winner in my mind.
And I also I'm a huge fan of the round top of the console covers. I have usually my Dark Plate 2.0 here. I've got a screen here. My PlayStation's in a state. Obviously, it's sitting on hot news set, so you know I'm not playing nothing right now. Beat Final Fantasy 16. What else I gotta play? Spider-Man 2.
You gotta get through the previous Spider-Mans before Spider-Man 2 comes out.
That's fair. Hey, Dbrand, if you want to turn that into a sponsored segment, let me know. And also not sponsored, Ayaneo coming out with the Ayaneo Slide. They confirmed in their Discord that this little throwback to the T-Mobile Sidekick is actually in trial production at the moment. It's going to be rocking a 7840U, have that slide up screen with a full keyboard going on underneath, as you can see. I like it.
Kind of looks like something Logitech would make.
But they're not making it. They're making that little Switch replacement type deal. I dig this. I would like to see it in IRL.
It just reminds me of an old Nokia phone that I used to have.
Did yours slide up? I think I'm thinking the one where you press the button and it like...
Oh no, those things were terrifying.
You know what else is terrifying?
What?
Todd Howard, I'm scared. Number 2, the fact that Intel's GPU, the A770, is the equivalent performance of an RTX 2080 Ti. It's pretty up there.
It's decent, yeah.
And Intel has worked very hard to get driver support for Starfield. They had it out before the game officially launched, not in that pre-release phase, but they have released their latest driver revision. So this is the 3rd update that they've made for Starfield on their GPUs. Yes, fixing Starfield stability things and trying to make sure that it's all working, including a wild character model fix that prevents a character's eyebrows from being ripped off their face. It's just like the Cannonball, which, by the way, mark your calendars, Cannonball for the Cure number 3 coming October 4th through 6th.
Hell yeah.
We have so many giveaways going on.
It's surprising.
We got a lot. Get ready for that. But with that, Bethesda's customer support team, in an official response as to why the A770 might not be performing up to snuff, says that it doesn't meet the minimum requirements. It is not faster than an RX 5700 or a 1070 Ti.
What?
Yep, and since you do not meet the minimum requirements, listen, you just get a better computer. Why are you buying Intel, you poor?
How is this an official response?
It just is, okay? It just works. Everything just works, both from NVIDIA's side and Bethesda's side.
I'm so confused by that one.
We're gonna get into it in the comment response. A lot of people had a lot of thoughts on how Bethesda's currently handling the state of their PC version of the game. And I'm here to see you handle the deals. Can you handle them
I will handle these
supplely,
deals
with suppleness?
with so much care.
Deal master, deal me some deals.
And hey, today we're starting off with the AMD Ryzen 3 3200G, which is a staple in the media PC game at this point, going for only $84.99, making it $24 off, and I still love this little guy.
$85? That came out while I was still living in South Africa.
Yeah.
It was $100 brand new. What? Ugh.
And next up we have this ASRock Phantom gaming monitor where you can get 27 inches, 1080p, 240 hertz for only $139.99, making it $80 off, the lowest price in 30 days.
Hey, 27 inches at 240 hertz, I'll tell you what. When we were at Computex, ASRock showed off an 8K monitor that I want.
And then next up we have this NZXT.
No, say NZXT.
Why? And next up we have this NZXT H210i Mini.
Fun fact, this was actually the first PC I built in when I moved back to America from South Africa. Going for $79.99.
Making it $52 off and the lowest price in 30 days.
Wow.
And then next up we have a semi deal,
It overheats. Allegedly.
which is Gigabyte's Project Stealth 500 DIY kit, which includes the motherboard, GPU, which is their 3070 Stealth, which features no front-end cables,
All plugs in from the back hole.
which you can pick up for only $499.99, making it $300 off. I saw a lot of people talking about this in the forums recently. It still generates a bit of interest, even though it's a 3070.
It's stealth, no cables.
Some people just want a stealth build.
Stick it in the back hole.
And with that, the deals are done. You can find these and more linked in the video description down below. But until next time, I'm gonna hand you off back to this guy for the rest of your hard news. Cheers.
But Reece, I got a better deal for you. How's free for
I
a
love free.
high-end gaming PC 7900 XTX? SignalRGB is giving away their 3D printed custom Starfield gaming PC.
What is going on
They
here?
designed it after the control scheme that is actually in the video game. So it looks like this is a partnership between Intel, SignalRGB, and Sky Gaming Tech. Is that what I read? Skytech, something like that.
I'm not gonna lie, this thing is so cool.
Oh, it's based on the little thing you do right there. With Skytech Gaming, we'll have it linked in the video description in case you want to check it out. 13700K, 7900 XTX. Really neat looking PC. I don't know where you put it, but you can make that happen. But
Find a space for that.
you find the space. In case you want to commit the blasphemies of all blasphemies with that PC playing Starfield, you do it with the DualSense controller. And Steam is going to be updating to make it so that you know whether or not the DualShock or DualSense controllers are actually supported in the video games.
Which
with
will
the
be
control
lovely.
scheme. I would like this. PlayStation support on PC has been lacking. I'm glad that it's finally getting updated. And so is Roblox to get updated to work on PlayStation. That's going to be coming this October. It's been available for PC, Mac, iOS, Android, and Xbox, but not for PlayStation.
Which is weird.
And still not for the Switch, despite it being mostly a kid's game or kids metaverse,
Yeah,
as it were.
there we go.
They do have adult-oriented content on the platform, but it's
I've never tried Roblox, so
well,
I don't
you're
know.
gonna wanna, because hey, they are bringing metaverse video chatting with Roblox Connect. You can have your own. I mean, this doesn't look worse than what Meta came out
I was
with.
about to say, this is still better than what Meta's doing
And
right
at
now.
least Roblox has a history of it. Number one, they earn a ton of money every single year, so the finances are there. It's not like they're just making this up out of nowhere. And number two, they have a large player base, but they're gonna make it so that you can call using your Roblox character
weird
to,
avatar thingy.
hey, I don't like it, but at least it makes sense. Whereas Facebook was like, you know, it'd be cool if we did that. You know that what they're doing in the kids video game?
Mm-hmm.
We could do that. Let's just change our entire identity to do that.
And then they didn't give them legs.
The legs are coming, Reece. The legs are gonna be there, and it turns out ads are gonna be there over on Twitter, but they're not gonna tell you anymore.
Oh.
Now, it's not clear if this is a bug or if this is an actual change that they're making. I do know that they changed how they disclose sponsored posts recently. Instead of it being below where it said paid promotion, it's like up next to the little 3 dots in very small font, it says ad. But it turns out for a lot of people, it's not even that anymore. It's just not disclosing whether or not a post is an ad in your feed.
Is that not illegal?
It's not cool according to the FTC, and the way you know it's an actual paid promotion is if you click the 3 dots, it then tells you that it's a paid promotion. So they're not fully hiding it, they're just requiring more effort to find it, but that's against FTC guidelines for it. It appears that this has been happening with a lot of accounts and a lot of different people, and there is a way to report it to Check My Ads in case you're interested, which is a nonprofit watchdog group that's trying to track all of this. Let me know, have you been experiencing this issue with Twitter having undisclosed ads, or do you just swipe past it because you're like, I'm not interested in this, and you never even investigated if it was an ad or not?
My ads are just getting so much worse.
Yeah?
Gambling and NFT stuff.
That's all you're interested in, Reece.
Apparently.
We have to talk about the sheer amount of gambling that you got. Because I don't know how you're going to afford the next generation of MacBooks, because the M3, well, you're getting a little bit more time, allegedly not launching this year on the laptop side of things. So according to Apple analysts out there, they're saying that the MacBook models of the M3 chips will not be happening this year because they actually can't keep up with production. It seems like TSMC might have other AI-based priorities where they're, having customers that they have to pay a little bit more. That's a little bit more speculation than truth, but Apple might not have enough chips of the M3, so they're allegedly only going to be launching the 24-inch iMac this year with an M3, and then the MacBooks with the M3 chips will come later, the MacBook Air and the MacBook.
Interesting start.
I think the 13-inch MacBook Pro is getting discontinued this generation, if I recall correctly. And then anything that's the M3 Pro or Max models will be coming later next year. But speaking of things that are getting discontinued, the Surface Duo is now end of life. 3 years. No more OS or security updates. It's been 3 years since this thing launched.
I'm trying to process that in my mind.
I'm baffled. It's over. I like the idea. Rip. And rip to you not being able to subscribe to YouTube channels, because YouTube's now going to make it more obvious that channels want you to subscribe. Click that subscribe button. Do you like hot news? Do you watch it for your breakfast every single day? Subscribe! Allegedly.
I just need a glowing button right here.
That's exactly.
Hold up, physically.
Give him a holding glowing button, Catlin, please. According to reports, YouTube is trialing a glowing subscribe button, as you can see in this video right here, whenever a creator begs you for you clicking that button. We don't typically do that here. It's not something I'm terribly concerned about. Watch the videos or don't watch them. If it provides you no value, that's on me to make the better value here at Hot News.
It's glowing. It's
a glowing button. That makes you more inclined to click it. Isn't that right?
Totally. Absolutely. I see glowing things, I have to touch them.
Well, don't touch the charging cord on the Chevy Bolt.
Wow.
Bad idea. So not only has this thing been recalled for catching fire many times, from the batteries to carpet fires, now 10,000 Chevy Bolt EUVs have been recalled because their charging cords lose ground connection and shock you. That's a lot of power to just give you in the shocky owie.
Yeah.
Now that's the glowing button, I'll tell you what.
Everything I've learned about the Bolt has been terrifying.
It was such a good idea, it just never worked. The pricing always made sense, but never the risk that you had to take to burn down your entire livelihood.
Well, we're still driving around Ford Cougars there in South Africa.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
Speaking of burning down your livelihood, AMD is not going to be doing that, which means that they're going to be abandoning you, the gamer, because you don't actually bring in all of the money for them. That's being done on the console side in the gaming department, and now, according to reports and leaks out there, they have to prioritize actually making AI chips instead of the RX 8000 series. So according to Chips and Bits, they have said that AMD will sacrifice the next-gen Radeon gaming GPU's output at TSMC in order to pump up their FPGA and general-purpose GPU production, meaning that they are actively trying to compete with NVIDIA in the AI server market.
I mean, now, you see NVIDIA's numbers, how are you going to convince shareholders that you don't need to go after the same market?
Exactly. This is all about they got to chase that dog. Do they got that dog in them or not?
Yeah,
butter dog or margarine dog? That's the questions you've got to answer. Now, this is coming on top of reports that we've seen previously that AMD is abandoning the high-end sector for the RX 8000 series, primarily just going to be giving us 8700 XTs and below like they did with the RX 5000 series, but it does look like it's going to be a very drought-filled generation for gamers on the RTX 50 and RX 8000 series. Not something that's good.
How you guys liking this future?
There's a reason we got R, G, and B for Battle Mage. Intel, don't let us down.
Please. You're our only hope.
And I have no hope besides talking about comment response, because if you guys didn't watch in chat, what would we be doing here? Alpaca Whacker, great name, says, it sounds like the Switch 2 sounds like it could be surprisingly powerful. I wonder if Nintendo might be making the Switch 2 more powerful than even we were expecting because of that 10-year deal with Microsoft as a result of the in-progress Activision acquisition. A lot of people were concluding that Microsoft's offer to Nintendo was a token deal because the Switch would likely not even be able to play many of these games. But if this new news is accurate, perhaps it wasn't a token deal and there is some substance to all this. I didn't even consider that.
We were discussing this in chat on Twitch the other day about like whether or not this means anything, if it was a token deal or not, because look at the Switch. It's not going to be pushing Call of Duty out in 10 years' time.
Right, but the Switch 2, hey, that's actually a pretty good deal, Alpaca Whacker. Jay Goris says, I was really hoping that Nintendo and Nvidia would work together on the Switch 2, but mainly because that should lead to a new Shield TV.
Shield TV is dead. Deal with it.
It's got no AI capabilities unless they're going to harvest your data even more. Andrew Geiger talking about Starfield and all of the Bethesda telling you have to upgrade your PC, saying the engine looks very last gen at points and there are loading screens everywhere. It's a fun experience, but I'm not convinced this is optimized well. Additionally, over the weekend, Digital Foundry came out with a video talking about the state of the PC game.
I saw it.
Turns out, if you run Intel and NVIDIA, very common combination for gamers, you're going to get worse performance than if you run AMD and AMD. There are certain bugs, like the fact that if you turn hyperthreading off on Intel, you get better FPS, but if you do that on AMD, it makes no difference. And then the equivalent GPUs, a 6800 XT to a 3080, the 6800 XT slapping the crap out of the 3080 for no real reason besides that this is an AMD exclusive launch partner, good
Probably
title.
All the dev happened on AMD cards.
It's wild to see. So if you're on Intel and NVIDIA, I mean, Todd Howard's right. Just upgrade to AMD.
Yeah, what are you doing?
Why are you not on a 7950X3D 7900 XTX system? What's wrong with you? Matt Tran says Switch 2 would be an instant buy if they offered reverse compatibility. I do not see a way that they don't.
I'm not gonna lie, I will be so mad.
I could see Nintendo doing that though.
That's why I'm on the fence here, because I would be so mad, but I can see Nintendo doing this.
Yeah, any Switch game you want to play on the Switch 2? Oh, sorry, that's an
$70
extra
remaster.
Exactly, that's what's happening. Not natively compatible at the launch.
And it's not even a remaster, it's just they unlocked the resolution and stuff, and then it's the exact...
And the frame rate, yep. Digitalized Death says they should do a dual GPU architecture. Put the mobile one in the handheld and the beefier one in the dock. Only issue is the interconnect between the dock and the handheld. I talked about this over on our Twitch stream on Friday. I think that complicates things a little bit too much. Nintendo very much about the simplicity of their devices, especially with the Switch generation. I think dual GPU solution, unless NVIDIA has figured some way of smoothing that out, that is going to create too many complications where I think cooling and uncorking makes more sense than an extra GPU in the dock.
Yeah, I remember so many rumors about a Nintendo Switch Pro dock that was going to come and have a GPU in it, and that was going to be their mid-gen refresh or upgrade. And
yeah, I would welcome a GPU dock, but I will not.
I'm not holding my breath.
Yeah. Lunar Data says, I'm wondering, Brett, what's your opinion on FG frame gen and AMD's frame gen with HyperX? Do you think Intel will be forced to answer it as now AMD and NVIDIA have some sort of frame gen? Number one, AMD has no sort of frame gen. They are promising it, but it is not out. Let's not give AMD credit for delivering on things that they haven't delivered on. Number two, I wouldn't be surprised if Intel has something behind the scenes. They do have their upcoming innovation event where they might be announcing something like this. I don't think they need that to compete. Right now, I think most people aren't turning on frame gen because it's locked down to specific hardware. Additionally, it adds latency that's very difficult to remove. I think Intel needs to focus on driver support and faster GPUs. If they can hit those things, they can work on frame gen later.
I'm fine with that.
SizzyMax says, the fact that I can't get 60 FPS on 1440p high preset on 12900K 3080 without upscaling should be a massive indictment on Starfield's performance. I agree.
Yeah.
So I did a short talking about this, and there were so many comments being like, it runs fine on my system, or being like, I have a 3080, I run it 4K, 120 FPS, and then just replies to that comment of being like, you were lying. There is no way that's possible. Like, I have that exact same system, and it does not run like that. Unless you're doing something like taking the render resolution down tremendously and then adding DLSS 3.5 and getting frame gen, you're not. No, because you can't even do frame gen on a 30 anyway. Anyways, Lake Breeze says, just not the same without my dopamine hit of Yummy Yummy Deal Master. Reece, can you do a Yummy Yummy Deal Master?
Yummy Yummy Deal Master.
That, you gotta put your heart into it. Give me your Gollum.
Yummy Yummy Deal Master.
Oh boy. Mr.
hurt
Woe
me.
says, to be fair, that's why Invest in Grapes is pretty great. Is that a reference to something? I don't even get it.
Invest in grapes to get the wine later.
That makes sense, but where's it from? Why are you talking?
We were talking about it the other day.
You got any grapes?
Yeah.
Bye. Well, it looks like the developers of the frick.
Get him.
I think it did.